Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs and welcome back to the Minecraft Survival Guide. I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm up here to claim the last of the drops from this iron farm before we inevitably have to tear it down. And I think what we're going to do with this ultimately, we're not going to do it today, by the way. A few people have asked me if I'm going to revise the iron farm design and change it up. Yes, I will, but probably not with this one and probably not for a little while. I'm still getting a nice overview of the new stuff that's come to 1.14 before we attempt anything more technical and fix some of the stuff that has broken in this update, but I figured I might as well come up here and get a few of these poppies out of here. We're going to be taking a look a little bit later this week at some of the new uses for flowers, because there are a few things that have popped up that might be worth a go, but I'm trying to put together some stuff for that. Let's chuck the rest of these out. We really don't need to save this many poppies. Today, we're actually going to look at some of the stuff that has been added in this update for builders, because you'd think builders have been kind of not exactly neglected in this update, but kind of overlooked in favor of the folks who want to do villager trading and stuff like that. But fear not, my friends, there are some really nice quality of life things for builders. In fact, I have a couple of them in my inventory right now. Andesite walls, lanterns, hello, it's about to go off. It's going to be a good episode. I already have a lot of poppies in here, but I think we'll probably fill this up with a little bit more. There we go. Red dye for days in here. And I'm just going to clear out my inventory so that I can fit in a little bit more stuff, because today we're going to be looking at all the new slabs, stairs, and walls that have been added to this update, because there is a complete overhaul of the options available to us right now. There are brand new blocks, and even some blocks which were available in creative before but weren't available in survival are now available to us here in 1.14 survival. So very excited to share some of those. Let me just pop this in here. Been doing a little bit more building around Founder's Forge off camera because I didn't feel like it was anything that was worth sharing with you guys right away, but I just wanted to start building a few more houses around the place. So let's tuck these in here for the moment. We'll come back to the andesite walls and stuff later. I'm pretty much sold on scaffolding now, by the way. I really quite like scaffolding. I was building a house with it, and just being able to kind of place it and break it whenever I needed to was actually very much worthwhile. If you go into a building project with a stack of scaffolding on you, or at the very least like a shulker box with some scaffolding in or something, you're probably going to have a much better time of it now, because just being able to go up and down scaffolding at will without like worrying too much about like placing blocks again, not having to pillar up once again if you fell off of the scaffolding that you were using, the dirt blocks that you were using before, it's going to be a huge improvement to your building workflow. At least if you're me and you keep like jumping off to pick up blocks and then having to pillar back up again, that kind of stuff, it's very much worthwhile, my friends. So anyway, I'm done evangelizing about scaffolding. Let's get on to looking at some of the new additions to the build palette. Starting off, I think, with our friends, the lanterns, because I already took a look at these in the video in which we tried out the snapshots in this world, and I've got to say, these things are looking beautiful. Look at that rosy glow. Look at that like slight animated texture that's going on there. It just kind of flickers gently. And of course, you can attach them to fences. You can attach them to the underside of blocks like this. You can place them on the floor. Unfortunately, you cannot hang them from the side of a block right now. And I really think that's something that should be amended in future, because I would love to be able to hang them from the side of something or the underside of transparent blocks like stairs if there is a solid face there, but you can hang them from fences like this, and I think that's really nice to add in to the mix here. I've already jumped the gun a little bit and added a few of these around Founder's Forge, but they are nice and cheap to make. All you need to do is get an iron ingot and break it down into iron nuggets, or acquire iron nuggets from Smelting old iron or chainmail armor, for example. You get yourself 9 iron nuggets, you open up a crafting table, and you put those 9 iron nuggets, actually you put 8 of them, around a torch, which means you get 1 spare, and every 8th ingot you break down, you basically get a free lantern, if you want to think about it that way. They don't break instantly when punched like torches do. Breaking them with a pickaxe or something like that is usually going to be your best bet, but I think they look absolutely fantastic in the surroundings of a medieval style town like the one we have. Take a look at this. Take a look at the new house I've been building here in Founder's Forge. Still doesn't have a roof, but the lanterns are hanging merrily either side, and it makes the whole place feel nice and welcoming. You can also use them inside using a bit of scaffolding as an end table here and placing a lantern on top of that, yes, it's looking really good. We also have a little bit of bamboo in flower pots here. That's something that you can add to flower pots. We have a campfire blazing in the hearth, and look at this. We have some granite stairs as a surround for the fireplace. And I really like the new granite texture. I was not a big fan of granite before. Now I think it looks really, really nice, especially when you break it down into stairs and slabs, which is something we're going to be doing a little bit later on. While we're here, you'll notice that I've made some furniture out of dark oak wood, and look at this. We have a sign that is dark oak as well. Now, this update has added the option to have signs of all different wood types, including acacia, dark oak, spruce, whatever you want to. So now when you place signs, they don't have to be oak wood anymore. You can basically place them anywhere you want. The text color is looking a little bit different, and you can, I believe, dye the text color. I don't know if we have any dye on us right now, though, so I might have to go out and find some of that. The night is looking a little dark right now. Let's take an oxide daisy, turn some light grey dye out of that, and bam, there we go, grey text on the sign to make it a little bit more readable against that dark oak background. Isn't that great? Isn't that a fantastic addition? I really like this. And we can also, you know, vary up the text color as much as we want to. We can have white text in there, we can have yellow text, all kinds of different text colors are an option. You could even have brown if you wanted to not be able to see the text whatsoever, but it lends a little bit of more readability, and it might be slightly more accessible to put black text on a light background or white text on a dark background, depending on which sign you're using. If you're making an adventure map and you want to make sure that anyone who has sight difficulty could potentially read that. Personally, I'm quite a fan of yellow text on these, especially considering that the dark oak door, if I make one of those real quick, actually has these kind of gold accents like that. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the gold door handle that you get. You don't get that in the trap door, unfortunately. The trap door has always reminded me of a block of chocolate or something like that. But yeah, you can have dark oak signs now, same with spruce, same with birch, whatever you happen to want to make signs out of. All wood types are now in the mix. And in terms of adding furniture to your build, it does mean that you can use dark oak as the armrest for a dark oak stair kind of seat like this. This is the most basic of Minecraft chairs, but it's just nice to have that as an option. Same goes for, you know, if we were making chairs out of birchwood or anything like that. Really nice addition. I'm a big fan. Now, heading back over to the storage unit over here, I'm going to pick up a little bit of stone. We're also going to grab some sandstone, which I believe I have the majority of it up here. Very good. Let's bring 3 of that with us as well. And yep, you can see some new recipes popping up in there with the stone cutter. Where do I put my stone cutter, by the way? I'm fairly certain I put it over in one of the houses in Founder's Forge. We'll have to go looking for that a little bit later. But I don't seem to have any red sandstone on me right now, unless I've got any red sand left over at the farmhouse. Yes, I do. Fantastic. Okay, we'll bring some of that with us as well. Convert it into red sandstone. Let's bring 5 of those. I suppose that'll do. Yep, new recipes for that popping up as well. And I'm going to bring each of these over to Vulcan's Forge, and we're going to put them through the smeltery in a kind of arbitrary way, because this is probably going to waste quite a bit of fuel. If I put the red sandstone in here, I'm going to put the regular sandstone in there, and I'm going to put the stone in there, and you'll notice that where none of these blocks were previously able to be smelted, now they are, and you'll see the outputs popping up in the output chest over here. First of all, we have smooth red sandstone and smooth sandstone as well. So those are brand new to the 1.13 update originally via the creative inventory, and now in 1.14 they are available in survival as well. You'll notice that a few of these are coming through because I want to do some stone cutting with them in just a second, but in the meantime, I've actually been smelting a few of these off camera as well. Stone now smelts into smooth stone, and if you recognize this texture, you might realize that it's because it's previously been available to you in slab form. if you make 3 of these into slabs, that is now how you get smooth stone slabs. And you might be wondering what happens if you turn 3 stone into a slab now. You actually now get a stone slab, a slab with the natural stone texture that you see here. So your options are opening up right in front of you. Let's grab the rest of this smooth and red sandstone, and you'll notice that in the crafting bench, this now has a slab recipe as well. So we can actually turn each of these into smooth slabs without any of the sandstone texturing, any of the cracks that you normally get in sandstone. This is going to be a really nice addition to the game. Having this without the border around it and having it be tileable as well. I feel like that's one of the most important things to me about textures in Minecraft a lot of the time, is that they tile in a nice way, in that they don't have big lines around the outside clearly delineating where a block begins and ends. That is such a useful thing to a builder, and so having a whole bunch of it in a big panel without any obvious seams between the blocks is perfect. So I'm so happy that these have now been added to the survival game and we now have access to them in full. You'll notice that these smooth stone slabs still make that double slab texture when you pile them up though. So instead of just getting a single smooth stone block texture like that, you now have even more options because you have the double slab texture that's always been in the game with these slabs, with the seam in there as well. Or you have this one that's a full block of the texture with just a border around the outside. It's brilliant. It's so nice having all of this stuff in the game now, and it's stuff that feels like it should have been around for quite some time before, but this update has finally made it possible. Here we go. For some reason, I left the stonecutter around here at the back of the blacksmith's guild in this kind of courtyard area, so not quite sure what my thinking was there, but I figured I wanted to put it somewhere in the world though. And while we're here, I may as well show you what I've been doing over in Old Town, because considering that this whole area is kind of Chinese and Japanese inspired, I thought adding some bamboo to the swamp over here would be a really nice fit, and so I've been spamming it around here, actually quite intentionally, with the dirt blocks and grass blocks growing out from the sides here to kind of fill in some of the more patchy areas of the swamp. Like this area over here, for example, we could do something kind of similar. I think I'll probably continue that around here, but for now, I've been limiting the height of it by placing string above it. This is a great way of stopping basically any crop that grows upwards, like cactus or sugarcane, from growing by placing some string up there so that it doesn't want to grow any higher because there's something occupying that block, but something which, when you get a little bit further away, is more or less completely invisible. You really can't see string all that well from a distance, and we take advantage of that fact by placing it on top of each of those where we don't want the stuff to grow any higher. You can sort of see it from a certain angle, especially if you're looking up at the sky, but I don't know how that's going to come across on YouTube, actually. You might not see it at all, but it's a worthwhile trick, worth knowing, and I've just been growing the bamboo in a patch over here, harvesting it when I can, turning some of it into scaffolding, and putting the rest around the swamp. Anyway, in the meantime, let's get back to what I wanted to do with the stonecutter, because today we're going to cut some stuff down into shapes you've never seen it in before. Let's grab some stone out of here. Let's actually leave 2 in there, and let's use the stonecutter to cut it down into stone slabs and stone stairs. This is brand new to this update, and this is going to change the way people terraform. We have stone slabs and stairs in the game now, and look at the possibilities of that. It looks virtually seamless in terms of the texture, and that's going to lend so much detail to terraformed caves and cliff faces and anything where you want the natural stone look. It's going to be superb. I cannot wait to see what people do with these blocks. I cannot wait to use them myself in other little ventures like this, and it also, because they're slabs and stairs, allows for nice kind of step-free almost access. It allows you to navigate around your world with a smooth looking terrain and without having to jump from block to block to get up a hill. It's going to look absolutely amazing. I can't wait to use that. While we're here, let's take a look at some of the other stone types that we can cut down, namely the decorative ones: andesite, diorite, and granite. It will come as no surprise to you at this point to learn that these now also have slab and stair textures available to them, not just in the polished form, but also in the raw form. You can also get andesite walls, which we saw a little bit earlier on, and the diorite and granite are much the same. It's also possible with the stone cutter to get these in a 1-to-1 ratio, although in terms of slabs, of course, you're always going to get 2 because one slab is half a block. We're obviously familiar with polished granite and polished diorite, as well as the polished andesite, of course, but the fact that those can now be made into stair and slab variants as well makes me very happy. It is rare that I use these stone types all that much, but I think part of the restriction I was feeling there was the fact that they were only available as 2 different block types, the solid raw type and the solid polished type. Now that we can add this stuff in, now that we can have andesite slabs and stuff like that, again, the texture blends so much nicer with the existing andesite blocks around there, and it's going to be perfect for detailing natural stuff with them, as well as applying to stone builds that are already out there in the world. Having diorite slabs as well, even the diorite slab does not look quite as stark and contrasting as regular diorite does. In fact, that actually looks a little bit more muted. I think it's the shadows that are doing that. It looks a little bit more on the side texture especially, it looks a little bit grayer, a little bit darker, and I find that a bit more attractive than the, staticky mess of diorite that we had before. Polished diorite is also great in slab form. Looking forward to using some of that as well. I'm going to take all of these with me and store them in a shulker box so that we can make a quick diorama of all of the stuff that we can now use in 1.14 for the end of the video. It's also just occurred to me that in my excitement for all of the smooth sandstone and smooth stone, I missed one of the other really important ones, and that is smooth quartz. Quartz has always had this texture that tiles in a very obvious way. You can see the seams, you can see the lines. It looks quite nice for classical architecture, but I've always found that a smooth quartz surface would look really nice, and now that is possible. We have a quartz block without the borders. I think it looks superb, and obviously it has borders when you place it next to the regular quartz block, but it doesn't have any borders around it naturally, meaning you could make a smooth wall, a smooth surface out of quartz if you wanted to, and it would look spectacular. I'm very happy about that change. Smooth quartz also breaks down into slabs and stairs as well, meaning that smooth texture can continue, and not to mention the fact that smooth sandstone and smooth red sandstone can also be broken down into stair patterns too. I am running out of space in this shulker box to show how many blocks we've got added in this update. How about I make another one real quick? There we go. Now, another thing I was very excited about from the snapshot video we did a while ago was the fact that mossy cobblestone now has slab and stair variants as well. It has always had walls, but the slabs and stairs are new, and those are going to be great for decorating the roofs of the houses over in Old Town. I like the texture of this. I think it's a improvement over the old mossy cobblestone texture. It's a little bit less bright, which means it blends in super well with basically grass colors more or less anywhere, especially on plains biomes though. Before, the green was a lot brighter and would probably look better in a jungle biome, that kind of level of green. This green works so much better in a variety of places. We've also got mossy stone brick, slabs, stairs, and walls, which are absolutely fantastic. I'm loving the fact that we get these walls now. We can get stone brick walls as well, not to mention the andesite and diorite walls that we covered a little bit earlier. Cracked stone bricks have been a little bit neglected in this update, though. You do not get any variant shapes for cracked stone brick blocks. You don't get any slabs, stairs, or walls of those. Not only that, but you used to be able to make stone brick slabs, regular stone brick slabs, out of cracked stone brick. That is no longer the case, presumably to avoid any confusion whereby people would think this got a cracked stone brick slab. No, you can still make all of the stone brick stuff out of the usual materials, except now you also have the option of stone brick walls in this update. So good, so good. I can imagine so many people making great castle designs now that they have this variety of walls available to them. Castle walls will never have looked better than they will in this update. I have to say, one very interesting change is the fact that nether brick now has a wall variant in it. You can get that via the stone cutter. You can also get it by adding 6 nether brick to a crafting table like so, in much the same way that you would make a stone wall. Now you might be wondering, what's that done to the nether brick fence recipe. Is nether brick fence completely replaced by wall now? Actually, it's not. If you take 2 regular nether bricks and put them in the middle in much the same way that you would make a fence out of wood using planks and sticks, you end up with 6 of the regular nether brick fences. And you'll still find those generating in new nether fortresses in this update. It's just that they now have walls as well, which actually makes nether brick one of the more versatile materials when it comes to different block shapes, because you consider there's a full block, there is a half block kind of in the center, and then there's an even smaller block size in the fence configuration as well. It's really interesting how nether brick just became a really diverse material. Not to mention the fact that red nether brick is also an option for this, and we have ourselves red nether brick stairs and slabs added into the mix as well. I've already got some of those here with me. Let's keep one of those for our diorama at the end here, but I've already got a nether brick stair. Let's make a nether brick wall and a nether brick slab out of this red nether brick stuff. Amazing. Really, really nice. And it's so tempting right now to go and completely redo half of the roof, like overhangs and stuff that I've done over at the castle, now that I have red nether brick slabs as well. That's going to be a project for another day, though. Speaking of which, regular brick walls are now an option where they were not before. Of course, bricks have always had the stairs and slabs available to them, but brick walls were not a thing until this update. So, once again, adding a whole bunch of variety into what you can do with the brick block. It also just occurred to me that there are no chiseled stone brick slabs or stairs, but that kind of makes sense for the texture. Having it be cut off halfway like that would be a little strange, so I think it sort of makes sense that that remains a full block of a decorative stone. But coming up here to the end stone area where we have the last of our materials, end stone bricks. These, of course, have previously only been available in full block form, but now we also get slabs, stairs, and walls of this, once again making it a much more diverse building material than it was before. So many more options to blend this into builds now. And personally, I find end stone brick really pale, so if you want to build something with this, try contrasting it with something that's got a bright pop of color like prismarine. I think you'll find that prismarine and the end stone brick do go together pretty well, and you'll have way more options for them now that there are stairs and slabs too. There we go, ladies and gents, the blocks. The blocks are so good. I think these have been fantastic additions to the survival game. I'm so happy that so many of them are here. Some people will think this is overdue. I think it is about time that these blocks got the update they deserved, and now with slabs and stair variants of them, you can imagine so many more things will be possible. Even having the addition of prismarine slabs and stairs in the previous update gave it a whole new lease of life, and I think that's possible with all of these blocks now. So I cannot wait to use some of these for roofs, for, you know, detailing stuff, for a whole variety of things. If nothing else, we've got a whole new set of ways to get around the world a little bit more smoothly. That is going to be it for this episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this look at the new blocks, or the new slabs and stairs and walls that are in the game. My name has been Pixlriffs. Don't forget to leave a like on the episode if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.